This is Bob Maloney from MyMMAnews.com, and I am joined by 5-0 rising pro Andre Petroski, the middleweight stud who I've been lucky enough to call his last 7 or 8 fights from cage side. And Andre is, one of those guys who is on the cusp of getting to the UFC or the Contender Series. This whole pandemic has really, thrown a kink in it. But Andre, how you doing? We have some good news to talk about. How you feeling? I know that, you were a new father, so that's keeping you busy, but tell me what's going on. I know you're in a gym full time now. Bring everybody up to date.
So I moved out to Jersey in the beginning of the quarantine. I met a guy, and he owns a sports complex here in Runnymede. It's called the Underground Wrestling Club, and then the sports complex is Name Your Sport. And I've been doing privates, a lot of personal training out of here during the quarantine, which is, I've been really lucky because I stopped working during the beginning of the quarantine, and obviously we haven't been able to fight. So, in Jersey, we're open for personal training. We would love, come check it out. It's a beautiful facility. And, so this weekend, I signed with Iridium Sports Management, and, they got a lot of big names. I think they have the most guys in the UFC, and they set me up with Coach Montoya in Englewood, Colorado, and I'm going to be doing my camp there. And they basically, recommended me to stay ready for a short notice fight in the UFC, and be ready when those fights are. Right now, so many fights are getting dropped, and they're looking for opponents that, they thought that with my record that that would be the best, the best next move for me.
Well, listen, I just got done interviewing Dennis Bazookia, who is the Ring of Combat champion at 145. He's 4-1, and he's going to be on the main event on the Contender Series next week, week 4. So you're 5-0 with 5 finishes. I think if you're looking at things honestly, there's no reason that you shouldn't get an opportunity with your record and the way you've performed. I mean, it's not like you've went out there and fought bums and got decisions. If you have been, a highlight reel with 5 finishes, with submissions, your power jiu-jitsu game is a beautiful thing to watch. So being in the gym now, obviously it makes sense that you're able to stay even leaner. If they called you, would you be ready for a fight in 1 week if they called you?
I wouldn't be 100%, but I've done worse. When it's time to go, I'm really good at flipping that switch and being able to, to go out and fight and not worry about, whether I could have done this differently or that differently. My camp for my last fight, Andre Hall, and that was like the fight really. My last fight with Andre Hall was like the fight that really kind of put me on the map as far as like with all the management companies and different promoters. And for that fight, I had thought that I had broken my nose a month before. I had just fought in December. I had to get x-rays on my hand in December. So like I was definitely not ready for a training camp. We probably did 4 weeks to get ready for that fight, and none of which was sparring because my nose was hurting. And we went out and took care of business and got the job done. So as far as a short notice fight goes, yeah, that's right up my alley.
Well, listen, right now, like I said, I'm just sitting back. Listen, you and I have been friends. I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm more than just the media when it comes to you. I'll admit that, I'm a huge fan. I'm just being honest, because when we're looking at the atmosphere right now, we're seeing a lot more fighters getting opportunities in the UFC because of what you said. You have fighters falling off for maybe COVID tests and things like that. We just saw Matt Semmelsberger, who fought at Art of War cage fighting like you did. He was 6-2, and he had a tremendous performance in the UFC this past weekend. He looked great. And like I said, I understand you completely. I'm glad you signed with somebody. So you have to stay ready. At this point right now, the atmosphere in mixed martial arts without regional fights, you never know. Bill Aljo, another guy who's taking a fight on a week's notice. These kind of opportunities are rising for everybody, and I don't see why you wouldn't get an opportunity soon. So staying ready is the way to go. Andre, give some shout outs to some love to some of you guys that's been training with, some of the people, that's been, I know you got a beautiful girlfriend, Nicolette, and a beautiful daughter. Give some shout outs or to some love to those people.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost is definitely my family. My daughter's going to be a year old tomorrow. So they've been very supportive. They want to come to Colorado with me for, the month or however long it takes to get a fight. But yeah, the sponsors have been extremely helpful, especially during the quarantine. Especially Dan Smith with American Brokerage Services. He's my newest sponsor, and he has helped tremendously. With me not working and just trying to get ready for this opportunity. Times are tough. Well, I say times are weird, it's a weird time, but you're right. Like the opportunities with the COVID are great for someone in my position. They're looking to sign guys. There's no better time. There's no easier time to go to the UFC right now. I would say, especially if you are, a fighter from the United States, but they're not signing guys unless, they win on the Contender Series or they're taking a short notice fight. They haven't signed anybody other than those two avenues. But yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to finally work with a management company. I'm real confident in Iridium. Jason House is, tremendous asset. He's got everything that I could need as far as from a management company. They have all the connections. They flew me out to Colorado and introduced me to Coach Montoya. And, it's great out there. They got a lot of studs at 85 and 205. One of the guys, they got this kid, Cody Brunch. He's 5-0. He's on the Contender Series. I think he's the co-main event on the Bazooka card. And, Josh Friend is also from Pennsylvania. He's from Pittsburgh. He's out there. He's fighting on LFA, I think this weekend. Anthony Smith. So there's a lot of studs at my weight. And, with the altitude, I think that can be like a tremendous benefit for my training.
Hey, listen, and once again, your facility where you're at, the wrestling club, take my word for it. I was over there, and the place is gigantic. It's clean. It's beautiful. And if you want to work out with, elite MMA and wrestlers, that's the place to come. So check out Andre in Runnymede. What's the name again of your wrestling club there, Andre?
Underground Wrestling Club. Yeah. I do everything. I do personal strength and conditioning. I do pad work. We have wrestling practices. We do wall work. We're doing everything out there. So, if you're having trouble finding a place to train, or you need a personal trainer, or you're getting ready for a fight, reach out to me, message me on social media. We're definitely working hard in there, and still taking precautions. We clean the mats, we clean the facility, we take everyone's temperature. So we're doing everything right, but we're still going to work,
All right, Dre. As always, man, it's good to talk to you. Keep me updated if you hear anything, and we'll talk about, hopefully you and I are doing this again soon, talking about, you're an opponent and a fight, and that's going to be a much more fun interview. But as always, great to talk to you, and thanks for the update. Best of luck with your new management company. Happy birthday to that beautiful little girl, and we'll talk to you soon, my brother.
Thanks, Bob. Have a good day.
You too.